Yo guys, JC here. How's it going? I've been just a bit busy, so there's not been much new content. Also, like I have actually some new videos coming up, but I don't have a lot of time to edit them right now, and that's the problem. So they kind of accumulate, and eventually I'll take care of it, but it just takes time. Anyway, today, yeah, like I said, it's gonna be a little rant. So maybe like if you've followed me before, my posts before, you know that I'm a certain way. I have a certain character. I like certain things. I don't like certain things, just like pretty much all human beings. But the one thing I'll say though is that these days, well, first of all, like I don't like party people. Sorry, but most the vast majority of party people that I talk to, just completely empty people. They like really nothing inside, just this kind of very shallow existence. And I think that, yeah, they're just like compensating by going out to party often, etc., etc. But yeah, just not very exciting people. The other category of people I don't like really is the kind of the happy mob out there. And you know what I mean? It's the people who think everything is delicious, everything is beautiful, that type of people. Yeah, not a fan of them either. And so in Japan, the one thing you have to understand here is that the like local TV channels that you get on TV, just if you buy the regular TV card, you get 7, 8 channels. It used to be 8, by the way, but for some reason number 3 disappeared like permanently. So okay, now it's 7. But the TV here is like crazy. And I'll give you like one example. They have these shows here. Usually it's a host and they go to visit some restaurant somewhere. And in the corner of the screen, because it's recorded live in the studio, there is a portion of it recorded live in the studio with basically some celebrities, and they sit there and basically these people there in the studio, they react live to what is shown during the broadcast. So in this case, yeah, it's somebody going to a restaurant and tasting the food there. So it's basically like those YouTube reaction videos, but they do that live here. And on top of that, they show a bunch of text all the time. Now, usually a lot of it is in Japanese, and my Japanese is still not great. So like with hiragana, I can like more or less I get most of it, but like katakana, I'm still like a beginner, and of course kanji, I don't know like any. So, but I know what the text says though. The text always kind of pushes you to think a certain way. So they don't teach you critical thinking. That is bad in Japan, apparently. They tell you what emotions you should feel right now. So if it's like food or something, they will show like oishi, for example. Oishi means delicious. So delicious, that's basically telling you, programming you how you should think right now. Or like some, like of course those celebrities, they react kind of in a happy way. Again, it's all kind of part of the mind conditioning. By the way, my cat is back there. It's all part of the mind conditioning here. It's extreme here. If you want a good example, I recommend the movie Dragonhead. It's one word, I'm pretty sure. It's a kind of apocalyptic horror movie here in Japan, and it's really, really good. Like, especially, I love the ending because in the end, like everybody drinks this kind of milk that they find, which is maybe sounds a bit gross, but I don't know. It's just milk, like it's some kind of milk, preserved milk or something. But if you drink it, it makes your mind go absolutely numb. And that for me is like a perfect, perfect image for Japanese TV, and probably also TV in America as well. yeah, sure, maybe we don't have this crazy text and stuff like that, but it's extremely mind numbing. And now I finally want to get to this picture here. So this is from some group on, I don't know, it's some kind of thing on Facebook, photography in Japan. And I'll just read the text here. Kiabuki no Sato. It's famous for its thatched roof houses that are very flammable. So it is protected by an elaborate system of 62 water hoses that automatically spray water if a fire breaks out. 1489. What? Okay, twice a year in May and December, this system is tested by the local fire brigade, and it's a breathtaking view in northern Kyoto prefecture. Okay, so I actually commented on that post and I said, actually, this is kind of ridiculous because, again, we live in the era of climate change. So we live in an era where everything is warming up anyway. So you have to prepare for that. And also, the other issue we have is the scarcity of water. Now, when I was in high school, like, 30 years ago or whatever, okay, a bit less, maybe 30, well, 25 years, something like that. You get the idea. In even in that period of time, like in the late 90s, water was viewed as a ubiquitous resource. Like, we will always have water. Don't worry about it. No worries whatsoever. Well, who's laughing now? Because now, every year, I read reports that, especially in California, like, because I follow the US news, obviously, in California, the reservoirs are almost empty. Every year, I read that. And it's not just there, it's also in other countries, it's in other parts of the world. I think, like, last year, they had a story about a major river in France. Well, yeah, because it's like drying up, and that river is kind of like a main artery for commerce, and it was drying up, so the boats couldn't really like pass through anymore, and it was paralyzing businesses there. So I know that there is a category of people out there, and for them, like, climate change is a joke. They don't take it seriously, they think it's a hoax. um when it's like summertime, instead of looking at the cause, they just say, well, it's summer, what do you expect, with this very kind of smug attitude on their faces. So yeah, there is a category of people out there, but the reality is climate change is very real, and we already see the impacts, and it's not just impacting the poor somewhere in Africa, because let's be honest, there, the mainstream media doesn't care about them at all, but it's starting to impact the developed world as well, like France, California, like US, etc., etc. So it's not affecting just the poor, but it's also affecting the rich nations. So that's what my comment was on this post. Like, we're wasting water. The easiest way is basically just to change the roof. If the roof is very flammable and we live in an era of warming, extreme warming, and scarcity of water, then it just doesn't justify anymore to have this type of roof anymore. But the other interesting thing about this particular story also is that this apparently, I haven't checked myself, but it says here it's in northern Kyoto. And Kyoto in general in Japan is extremely, extremely conservative part of Japan. So I'm not surprised that they don't change the rooftops. And I'm also not surprised that in the comments, some people come in and start to attack my post from a very, very conservative mindset. But again, like, I'm not a conservative person, okay? So I don't like conservative people in particular, especially in the US. I really don't like them. But it seems to me that these are people who are, they are, what do you say, averse to change. They don't want change. They fear change and they want to preserve some kind of old ways, even if those old ways are not suitable anymore. So that's kind of my rant today. I'm just very kind of unhappy with. I'm very unhappy with media in general. Social media, yeah, for sure, but media in general, it's rotting whatever is left of people's brains these days, which is not much. Let's be honest there. There's not much left of people's brains anyway. But like social media and media in general are just kind of finishing that off completely. And we just get these like complete idiots out there who are incapable of seeing, past the tip of their nose. They're just incapable of reasoning rationally and thinking critically. And that's basically the society that media is fostering, unfortunately. All right, that's it for the rant today. Let me know what you think in the comments because maybe you disagree with my assessment, uh, which is fine. But then let me know why you disagree and give me like good reasons. Give me good counter reasons to what I presented today. All right, that's it. And yeah, my main camera is not working today. That's why I had to use my kind of regular webcam. All right, that's it. Stay safe, take care, and JC signing off.